this is what dreams are made of. The island paradise Siargao has captivated the world with its untamed beauty, friendly and laid-back locals, and bohemian vibe. The municipality of General Luna is home to annual international and national surfing competitions, earning its reputation as the surfing capital of the Philippines. General Luna is a hotspot for tourists coming to Siargao, with most of the island's accommodations and restaurants concentrated here. There's a lot of construction going on here, so a lot more are popping up. Indeed, the island is at a pivotal time in its development. This week on Profiles, we talk to locals about their childhood paradise and how they're managing the tourism boom. Abe Tolentino's summer adventures growing up here in his mother's hometown molded him into the surfer, businessman, sustainability warrior he is today.
I would stay in my grandparents' house in the main town of Dapa.
Yeah.
But we'd come here and I'd spend time on the beach.
Beautiful beach.
Yeah,
there.
this was early to mid-90s. You could really find a lot of shellfish just by looking under the rocks, and the abundance was really something. It's different these days.
Yeah. Those days, getting here took 6 to 8 hours by boat from Siargao City, or an overnight ferry ride from Cebu. Electricity and water were rationed. Abe grew up around the world as his mother, Rora Navarro Tolentino, was a diplomat. His maternal grandfather, Constantino Oging Navarro Sr., was a former city mayor and congressman of Siargao del Norte. Abe's family would take every opportunity to visit Siargao while they lived abroad. Abe knew he would live in Siargao one day because of his love for the sea and surfing. He finally decided to settle there in 2017 after getting married, the fifth generation of his family to live in Siargao.
This is exactly where I walked down the aisle in 2017.
Yeah.
So that was just a year after my fiancée then, and now wife Megan, moved to Siargao.
Abe and Megan, who just had their first baby, can't imagine living anywhere else. Being avid surfers, it's a dream come true for them to live right by the sea. Running an Airbnb guest house and events place called Punta Dolores Homestead. Abe hasn't had much time to ride the waves, though, between running his businesses and his role as president of Siargao Tourism Operators Association, or STOA.
I address a lot of the issues that our members have, especially when it comes to regulations. There has to be some direction for the people to be able to still profit from tourism but not let go of agriculture entirely.
There's definitely a lot more to Siargao than what tourists have come to identify the island with: surfing.
It's a big island, more than 10 times the size of Boracay. We have the largest contiguous mangrove area in the Philippines. We have the Philippine Deep just over there.
The waves are also huge with all your
the change in the ocean floor with all the power from the Pacific Ocean just getting driven up on that shelf really produces that unique aspect that makes Siargao surfing paradise.
Jolan Saavedra knows all about the sensational surf here, growing up in Barangay Katangnan, more popularly known as Cloud 9, the island's most popular surfing spot. Legend has it that a foreign surfer, Max Walker, put Cloud 9 on the map in the 80s. Since then, it has drawn world pros for international tournaments. Jolan says back in the day, locals were scared of the big waves and foreigners popularized surfing in the area.
Noong 1980s, may mga grupo ng mga surfer na pumunta dito, mga foreigner. May kasama silang photographer. So pagbalik nila dun sa sa ibang bansa na publish, naging cover
yung Siargao.
Yung Siargao. Kasi mahirap pumunta dito sa isla namin, walang flights. Lang barko, so per ferry or yung mga bangka ba naabot ng halos isang linggo from Manila going dito sa isla namin. May mga turista pero kino-consider na namin sila na local kasi parang dito na rin sila tumira. Nag-sit up ng mga maliliit na mga resort just to sustain yung pang-araw-araw nila na pangangailangan.
Hindi yung parang ngayon
hindi yung parang ngayon na pumupunta dito para maging milyonaryo.
In 2016, Governor Sol Matugas of Siargao del Norte said over 1.2 billion pesos had been allocated to add and improve infrastructure in the region, particularly for tourism facilities in Siargao. 300 million went into the construction of a sports complex in Dapa. The rest was allocated for the construction of more roads, bridges, and seaports. Additional funding has been secured for urban planning, international events like the 2017 World Surfing Cup, the World Game Fishing Tournament, and the improvement of Siargao's airport. Jolan says the local community is shocked over the sudden tourism boom and development around their hometown. Jolan quit his day job at a bank to find more fulfillment in helping the community amidst the rapid changes and doing what he loves, like surfing.
Nag-set up ako ng maliit na negosyo. Naisip ko yung fruits and vegetables kasi yun yung pangunahing pangangailangan natin. Pero yung kita ko naman doon, napupunta lang din doon sa mga community work, sa mga bata, nag-sponsor sa pag-aaral.
Jolan is passionate about helping the community move forward. After all, it's the people, he says, that make his island home the paradise we know today. As Vice President of Siargao Environmental Awareness or SEA Movement and Barangay Katangnan Council member, Jolan is doing what he can to help preserve his island home and encouraging others to do their part. SEA Movement is a collaborative effort made up of volunteers aimed at preserving Siargao's natural environment through sustainable solutions. It was founded in 2015 by Marja Abad, James O'Donnell, and Andrew Russo on the principle that environmental conservation is everyone's responsibility.
Yung kabuhayan talaga namin ay nanggagaling sa dagat. Araw-araw, dumadami yung turista, dumadami rin yung basura. Pag nag-surf kami, take 3 for the sea, sinasabi namin sa mga kasama namin.
Ano yung take 3 for the sea? Take 3 pieces of
take 3 pieces garbage galing sa dagat.
Para ibalik
para
dito
ibalik.
tapon.
So yun, tapos yung mga bata rin, parang naging active din sila. Sila din na nag-suggest, ba't hindi natin i-extend, gagawin natin ng ganyan, clean up, clean up. Sila na rin yung nagsasabi kung maraming kalat doon sa area na yon.
The Sea Movement coastal cleanups are done every Saturday so as not to get in the way of the children's studies. Tourists are also welcome to participate. Jolan is happy about the strong support from visitors.
May mga turista na bagong pagdating pa lang sa hotel, hinahanap na kung saan yung Sea Movement, kung may clean up. Ang saya ba na mas pinili nila muna sumali sa Sea Movement bago mag-island hopping, bago mag-surfing, bago mamasyal.
Support from visitors to help preserve Siargao goes a long way in empowering the local community to do more and persevere in environmental conservation despite the challenges.
Lately, I'm working so hard. I'm in so much stress. If you put me out in the water, everything just vanishes like that. I'm just the happiest.
Whether you've come for surfing, soul searching, or beach bumming, Siargao will teach you to let go and let nature take over. This simple life is what makes paradise, according to Nildy Blancada, the first female surfer in Siargao, dubbed Queen of Cloud9, who grew up in General Luna.
Me being like born and raised up in this place, for me it's life, you know. I mean, I see this from nothing to now. It's completely different. Like before, I live in a little house where there's no light. Me and my siblings were like 8 kids plus, of course, my parents, and everything just so simple, no worries.
Nildy started surfing at 10 years old, hanging out with the boys.
I just watched with them like pretty much every day. Like after school, I was like, wow, it looks so much fun. But I'm really good in the water because I used to go fishing with my dad since when I was 4 years old.
You had to work with a broken board. You were just sharing one board.
It's funny, like it's this one, like it's broken without a fiberglass. It's no fiberglass on it. So it's like all the time like surfing with a lot of rashes in your stomach. But we just have to work with it because we got no choice.
Great way to learn.
Yeah, it's a hard life, hard way, but it's all worth it.
And you became known as the Queen of Cloud9.
I was the first one who started surfing as a woman, and the crazy part is like I encourage a lot of my friends to surf, but of course they got scared to get dark. For them, being dark, it's ugly.
You taught your sister to surf. She's also a champion surfer.
She won the title again in the whole Philippines. I taught her when she was 13. She actually almost drowned. She gave up, and I said, no, I'm not giving up on you. She actually coped up so fast after 2 years.
Nildy believes women are finding equal footing in this male-dominated sport. Surfing provides new perspectives and opportunities, and for Nildy, a sense of equanimity.
Surfing gives everything. Like, it just makes me happy because, look, I have 2 kids, I work so hard, I have business that I'm working on.
For you, it's the meaning of life.
It's a balance for me to be happy. If you put me out in the water, everything just vanishes like that. I'm just the happiest.
But Nildy is concerned about the impacts of tourism on Siargao's surfing culture and environment.
It's very intense. This happened only in the last 2 years. It's just really crazy because it's affected us a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm lucky that I have a little money, can afford to buy stuff like that. But let's say those other farmers, they cannot even afford to buy fish anymore.
Yeah.
Because all the buying stuff, it's already based on a tourist
So the cost is going up.
It's insane. So surfing, it actually helps us a lot, but we got also affected the most.
With an international airport rumored to be in the pipeline this year, changes are rapidly progressing on the island. Just 4 months after my first visit to Siargao in 2018, at least 10 new resorts and restaurants popped up along General Luna. Local resident Abe Tolentino shows us around some of his top picks in the area. Siargao Wake Park opened in July 2018 on a hidden lake nestled between palm trees. Wake Park founder Tom Supart from Belgium, an avid surfer, wakeboarder, and DJ, showed us a few stunts. We stopped for lunch at Kermit, renowned for its excellent Italian cuisine. People queue for hours for a taste of the best pizza on the island, some even say in the country. Kermit also offers island tours, surfing, and activities promoting eco-friendly and sustainable initiatives. The resort has the longest-running surf school and camp in Siargao, which opened in 2010. Before sunset, we arrive at Greenhouse, a private eco-surf resort with eco-villas built into lush tropical gardens on the waterfront, one of Abe's favorite hideouts. We check out the scene at Bravo, which just opened a new skate bowl. Nothing like a skate jam session with a live band to get that Siargao stoke going. The delicious Spanish fare and cocktails at Bravo's restaurant are a perfect way to cap off the day. Abe points to Greenhouse as an example of resorts geared towards sustainable tourism, something Abe has been advocating among tourism operators. One of the priority issues is zoning.
Here in the General Luna area, you are starting to see a change from locals living in a certain area to just being overrun with businesses. This comes in the issue also with our ability to provide basic necessities for the businesses, such as solid waste management and a source of clean water and even energy. So one of the studies which we have to make is actually a holding capacity study so that we actually have a basis to say when enough is enough when it comes to allowing businesses to come in. Mass tourism really is a double-edged sword. Brings in opportunities, but also brings in just as many challenges.
How do you like them to behave, these new businesses coming up?
Siargao itself is called the Siargao Island Protected Land and Seascape. This area is an ecologically and environmentally sensitive area, one that has to be protected. Development has to take a second place to conservation. All the new businesses that are coming in, we need them to comply with all the environmental laws.
And we're always talking about sustainable tourism. What do you think about that?
Sustainable tourism, I think, is a complex concept. It's not something that you can apply to every place. It has to be tailor-fit. And finding that balance between ecology, conservation, and tourism business development is really hard.
Waste management is something the local community is doggedly addressing, given that Siargao does not have a proper waste collection service or landfill. Segregated trash often ends up mixed together when it's illegally disposed of on the side of the road or in a closed dump site. Abe's group, Siargao Tourism Operators Association, or STOA, is working with the local government to push ordinances for proper waste management. The group collaborated with its sister organization, Siargao Environmental Awareness Movement, to pass an ordinance banning single-use plastic.
For our long-term goals in STOA is making everyone 100% compliant with the laws. That is a long-term goal.
Ang sakit araw-araw nakikita mo na parang inaanay yung tinatawag mo na paradise.
The strong community spirit and genuine concern for the environment is one of Siargao's endearing qualities. I witnessed more of this inspiring community spirit at Siargao Recycling Art Studio, where trash is turned into treasure. This is run by the nonprofit Nature Kids of Siargao, founded in 2013 by Sana Civic and Kokoy Davis.
These are where our local staff members take the plastic bottles. We also use soft plastics, foils, and styrofoam.
Basically, you collect all of these pieces.
Exactly. So we have the styrofoam here as well, and soft plastics. That all goes into our shredding machine.
Okay.
And then comes up as very fine pieces, which you can see here.
Pellets,
So,
they're like pellets,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then I love how you upcycle. You're also out of this waste, you're creating treasures.
That's the idea. We have bean bags.
Yeah.
So the plastics and the styrofoam and so on has been shredded, and that's now the filling for the bean bags.
So this helps sustain the project. This is an NGO.
Exactly. The sales of these bean bags then go into to pay the wages of our local staff members and also sustain other projects that we do as an NGO. Nature Kids of Siargao also works with local schools, particularly the local elementary school here in General Luna. They get the kids involved in recycling. Also, we have school groups come and visit the studio here to learn about recycling and being eco-kind.
Yeah.
Nature Kids of Siargao has another exciting initiative coming up this year.
So this year we're launching our Pay by Plastic shop, which is really exciting. And the idea is that local people, when they bring their trash in, they will be able to get something in return.
Nice.
Basic household goods, educational supplies, eco products.
It's always an exhilarating experience for visitors here. Island living forces you to slow down and take in the beauty and power of nature. There's so much to learn from the vibrant community here, from the locals and their deep connection to the ocean, as well as the people who've chosen to make their home here, so passionate about safeguarding their paradise. Abe Tolentino says community participation and empowerment is an aspect he and his Tourism Operators Association want to develop further as part of their sustainable tourism goals. He hopes Siargao can keep its rustic charm without being overrun by tourism.
I want to see it stay as close to this as possible, as close as to how we found it. And a lot of the earlier resort owners, the people who moved here for the lifestyle and not just to make money, understand that even though they had the idea of coming here because it was paradise, that it was because of them and their establishments that created the groundwork for this boom.
The young politician and environmental advocate Jolan Saavedra dreams of a day when coastal cleanups will no longer be necessary.
Yung pangarap ko talaga na talagang hindi na kami magki-clean up sa street, hindi na kami magki-clean up sa beaches.
May awareness
May awareness na yung mga tao.
It's not easy to sustain environmental advocacies such as Siargao Environmental Awareness Movement. There are days Jolan loses hope, but it's the children's optimism and determination that keep him going.
May mga times kasi na maisip mo gusto ko nang huminto. Pero yung mga bata makikita mo pag Sabado, umaga pa nandun na sa bahay mo, Uncle, clean up mamaya. Sila yung pinaghuhugutan na lang na para din naman sa kanila, para sa kinabukasan ng isla, para sa kinabukasan nila.
Jolan hopes the government will do more to make their environmental initiatives truly successful.
Ang sakit araw-araw nakikita mo na parang inaanay yung tinatawag mo na paradise, kulang pag kami lang. Yung gusto namin na sana yung gobyerno din mas positibo pa.
Where government action is often sorely lacking or extremely slow, community action is crucial in bringing about the change we want to see. Australian volunteer Lisa Marlin finds inspiration in the local community's efforts to preserve the environment.
When I came to Siargao, I was really impressed by the community spirit, and there's so many different projects here involving local people and also visitors or expats who are now living here, just working together to improve the island. It's really inspiring.
Surfer and entrepreneur Nilly Blancada, who works tirelessly managing her Siargao Inn Resort, encourages businesses operating in Siargao to think beyond profits.
Please, just don't think about the money, okay? You invest money here also at the same time, return something good for the environmental or people like that, because this is not all about money.
A single mother of two, Nildy says motherhood has helped her become a better surfer because it teaches her the value of hard work and balance, and has given her a new perspective on life.
It's not about myself anymore, it's for my kids and for the people who lives here.
Preserving Siargao or conserving the environment elsewhere may be a difficult task, but it must be done to preserve places like this for generations more to enjoy. At the end of the day, it all comes down to respect for local culture, people, and nature, and making choices, taking action for the greater good. Siargao's story teaches us the power of a tribe, a committed band of surfers, artists, entrepreneurs, writers, journalists, politicians, and other concerned individuals. An extraordinary family united by a common goal: to preserve the natural resources and beauty of Siargao while developing it in a sustainable way to provide jobs and opportunities for the local community. And may all those who visit their paradise join in.